Welcome back to Lower Class Podcast. This is Ziggy.
This is Pony.
And this is Charlie, also known as Disorder.
Yeah, so today we were supposed to have originally our high school buddy, but he lost his voice, so he couldn't come on the show, and I was kind of panicking because I couldn't find a guest. But luckily, I found somebody, and we're back on track again.
Hell yeah. But, so this gentleman here does DJ and does his own remixes and does anything a DJ will be doing, correct?
That's correct, yeah.
And let us know, what type of music do you play so some people would know?
I keep it, I consider it along the lines of what I call dark dance. It's anything from new wave to synth pop to industrial, heavy EBM, dark wave. Obviously, being a DJ, I want to keep it danceable and keep the crowd going and keep them moving. So it's darker stuff, but it's stuff you can dance to.
Good.
You know, the thing about when you can practically make any music danceable. You could even add metal and industrial together.
There are remixes out there.
And it works.
That's
yeah.
true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Country and industrial.
Yeah.
It might work.
Yeah.
You know?
No, definitely.
Yeah. That's why. And what's the venues you actually?
Well, I pretty much I guessed at a lot of places. Manhattan Bar in Chula Vista, Blonde Bar out there in San Diego, Space Bar.
Yeah.
As well, so I get around. When needed and if needed. And
have you ever tried TJ?
No, I used to go to the TJ events a long time ago, back in like 2007, 2006. There's a big scene out there in TJ. But I haven't gone recently. Actually, I haven't gone for a long time, but I love it down there. There's a lot of love down there.
Yeah, because last time we went to, it was my my girlfriend's uncle's bachelorette party, and we ended up. And you know what, mind you, before I start this conversation, so this guy is bald too, obviously. So he's getting married, and then last minute we decided, let's go do a bachelorette party for him, this and that. All right, we decided to go to every single bar, but instead of us having us directing him what bar to go, he directed us instead of us directing him, and he ends up taking us to all these like punk bars, all these goth bars, and I started seeing this guy differently. I was like, holy shit, this guy. I started asking him questions. I was like, this guy's a metalhead. I'm like, holy fuck. It's like, this is a metalhead. What do you know? I have a background in punk music, and he has a background in metal. And so I got along even more with him than anything else, because I finally find out, it's like, holy shit, I can relate to him now. Okay, so that starts. So we're going to all these bars, and he takes us to these goth and these punk bars, and people gather around, and I'm like tripping. I was like, holy shit, never been here before. But you can tell these people steal six. Whatever doesn't exist out here, for sure you see that out there.
Oh, definitely.
It's like
they have hardcore BDSM and fetish shows that run till like 4, 5, 6 in the morning. Yeah, and it's like an all night thing where it's like an all night event. And that's the cool thing about the scene down there, is that you got all the punks, you got all the metal heads, you got all the old school rivet heads, the industrial heads that get together, all the goth guys and goth girls. And there's all kinds of like subgenres that mix and intertwine.
Yeah, that's why when all those people that listen to all those genres, they kind of collide with each other, because they have like the same kind of like not influence, but it just goes hand in hand.
It really does. It does go hand in hand. It definitely does. The whole macabre and the whole horror and the whole darkness of everything. People find a generalized infatuation with that, whether you're a metalhead that's a little thrasher, or whether you're that's where I started off at when I was a kid. Metal was like my world, and
they all have like a common ground.
All of a sudden I discovered like other stuff, like the new wave and 80s and K-rock, old school, retro 80s, and I was like, and then from there you dig deeper and deeper and deeper, and you're like, wow, I like all this stuff.
Yeah, I had this weird obsession with goth women, because I never dated a goth before, and I always wanted to. But I'm always
we're all obsessed with those.
You're Asians, but keep going.
Basically, the cool thing about it is when you go to these events that we throw and these nights that we have, or these nights that I guest at, guest DJ at, whatever, you see a multitude of people that come from North Park, Chula Vista, South Bay, Imperial Beach. You got people that come from LA, you got people that come from Tijuana, and all that sort. And it's really cool to see everybody get together in the same room at the same time without having a preference of said music being played that night.
Right.
Everybody can get down to everything that's being provided
Right,
by
there's,
us.
there's no conflict of interest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There really isn't. There's like there's a passion for the unity amongst all those people that I love seeing. You know.
That's true. I mean, during like on those, like no matter what genre it is, there's always a unity between all that. It doesn't matter if like if it's in metal, you'll see punks and metals together. You see even goth. You see it doesn't even matter what But while you're in that genre, I guess everybody is. It's like a unity, like you mentioned.
That's correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's still a tight community. It's
Correct.
still, everybody's welcome. When they experience it and when they open up to getting into it, we welcome everybody. It's an open scene. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, no, that's true because I've again coming from a background in punk, that's true. It's true. I used to hang out. Well, I mean, it was rare to even see a goth in Montgomery.
Yeah,
I mean, I think there was only one.
It didn't really exist at that time. It was kind of like not really common to see that. You see punks, you see a lot of like hardcore kids, and you see like all the outsiders. But
yeah.
you never see goth. There's some punks that they like goth, but they don't have the appearance.
Yeah,
because
it's stuff they kind of listen to on the side is what I found. Yeah.
Because if they dressed the way they did in like outside of school and they went to school like that, they wouldn't be allowed to wear any of that stuff.
That's true.
Because
That's
they
true.
got all these chains and like they could be used for weapons.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe there was goths, but they were hidden in plain sight.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think we all have. I can probably speak for myself and you both when I say this, that we have our nights where it's like a old school Sepultura night, or old school Slayer night or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You can dive into like Judas Priest or whatever the case may be, and then you have those nights where it's like The Cure, and then it's like Clan of Zymox, and then it's like Nitzareb. So I guess it just depends on what you're feeling that day.
That's true.
But I mean, it all comes down to the unity and everybody getting together on the same page.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that how's your what do you call it, your influence goes, like you like?
Yeah, my influence. I mean, if you want to talk about influence, I'm the youngest of 7, so I grew up with 2 older brothers. So when they would leave the house, I used to ransack their vinyl records, and it was Queen, it was Pink Floyd, and it was Depeche Mode, and it was The Cure, and everything, and old Ministry, and that's why I was like, whoa, like everything I'm hearing right now is so evil. I've always been attracted to like the quote unquote evil side of things, the old school, Shout at the Devil, Motley Crue, Pentagram record and everything. Oh man, this is evil. If it's evil, I must not. I shouldn't listen to it, but it makes me want to listen to it.
Yep.
So it's always been a very attractive and appealing to me. So kind of figured that out at an early age.
That's really cool, man. Shit.
That's kind of like what is it, Star Wars, right? Are you with the Republic or are you with the Sith?
Yeah,
Pretty much.
pretty much.
I think
if you put it in that way, that
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we're all gonna choose the Sith, and I guess because of the badass fucking costume.
Well, it's just anything that's evil. It's appealing.
Evil is beautiful.
Yeah.
Evil spelled backwards is live. So I mean, who doesn't want to live? Everybody wants to be alive, right? And it's all. I believe we're all carnal animals while we're existing here on this earth, and vital existence is primitive, and we're all alive.
Yeah.
So why not indulge in everything that we can?
Exactly. Like I feel myself leaning towards more the dark side of music than the light side, because whenever I'll listen to a couple like light music, but for the most part I always lean towards the darker side because I could relate to it.
Yeah.
So
it kind of just draws you.
Yeah.
It just draws you, and you draw it. And trust me, I have my moments, man, where I'm at home and I'm cleaning, and I'll throw on the old school some cranberries, or I'll throw on some Kate Bush, or I'll throw on some happier, quote unquote happier stuff. But I mean, when it comes down to it, I think we all know where we stand with what we prefer.
Cause I used to tell friends all the time, like I'm pretty sure I mentioned in this podcast before, but I live in my misery.
Oh yeah.
So it's one thing that if I listen to something that sounds miserable, it makes me happy in a sense.
That's a very good way to think about it, man, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
With misery, as they say, misery loves company.
Yeah.
But you can go a lot of places with that. I mean...
I mean, for me, because I write poetry too, so a lot of my stuff is very dark. Mm-hmm. Actually this morning, I had like one of those... what do you call it when you're like sleep paralysis.
Oh yeah, I used to experience that very bad.
I had that
Yeah, mhm.
earlier this morning, like around 5 or 6, and I was like, shit, it's a good idea for a poem. So I fucking busted out my phone and started typing
That's
shit
good.
up. And then I finalized it earlier before you guys showed up. I was like, man, this is fucking sick.
You know, it's what's awesome about you saying that is they say the best time to like when it comes to like I don't know if you guys ever dove into like witchcraft or like black magic or anything, but they say the best time to cast out like kind of hexes or curses is around 3 a.m., 4 a.m. when everybody's conscious is everybody's under.
Like they call
they're
it
in
the,
that REM state where like
it,
there are no
witching,
boundaries.
Witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour, something like that. But basically, long story short, it's cool that you woke up out of that and you used it as an artistic approach.
Because it felt so real. I felt kind of scared for myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit. My heart was racing so bad, and I was like, fuck, I'm so tired, but I don't want to lose this this good poem, so I just wrote it half asleep.
The thing about sleep paralysis, I used to have that a lot. I've noticed and I've learned that people don't understand sleep paralysis until they've experienced sleep paralysis.
Have you ever experienced that?
And
It's
it's some of the most crazy, haunting
It is.
feelings that I can probably say that I've ever had in my life.
It's like it's this thing that's called you're in between sleep and consciousness, and you feel yourself, you're asleep, but you're also awake at the same time.
Yes.
You know what's happening, but your body doesn't move.
Yes, you can't react the way you want to react.
Yeah,
there's like no reaction. You pretty much, you're unfiltered, and you have to take what is given to you, whether it's shadows, whether it's voices or figures or anything like that. I'm sure, being that you guys have both experienced it, you've experienced those aspects.
Oh
of
yeah,
it.
like I remember I would be sweating my ass off. I'm like, oh man, that was so scary.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm like, when it comes to like most things, I could handle scary, but this is a whole nother level.
I agree with you. I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
I know, yeah,
I'll
that's
just say
exactly
I agree because
why-
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like I can deal with scary, I can deal with creepy,
Yeah.
I can deal with the macabre and gore and all that. But
Yeah.
when it comes to sleep paralysis,
Different
sleep
story.
paralysis, that's like a whole nother demon.
It is, yeah.
You know, it really is.
I don't know what
Yeah.
really causes it, but whoever experienced it, because there's a lot of people out there that never experienced it before, and they can't relate to it unless it's happened to them before.
You know, they say that people who drink a lot or people who do a lot of drugs have a higher tendency to experience those events.
That makes sense.
And it does make sense because when I was going through, I'd say a time of where I had sleep paralysis all the time, I was drinking heavily. I was doing a lot of cocaine. So like every day and every night would be at the bar, you know, and I'd be drunk all the time pretty much. And yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Cause well, for me, it's like I guess it kind of applies to me because I did do a lot of drugs and I do drink pretty heavily, but not every day. But I guess just the fact that I do is probably what really triggers it. You
Possibly
know?
that is possible. I wouldn't doubt it. I mean,
There's two theories to it, though. I mean, there's a theory about science, you know, you're in between consciousness.
Yeah.
And there's the theory of supernatural, where it's like there's something sucking the shit out.
And that's the fine line, and that's where I like to kind of say maybe it's both.
Yeah.
It might
Because
be both,
I'm sure
yeah.
things
It's
you've
hard,
seen
too.
and things you've seen and felt, presences we felt and seen. It's just I don't think you can really explain those to people. You know.
Yeah.
True. And it's crazy because it's we're just human, but it's funny how. Like if you're in danger or someone's in danger, your family, you kind of sense it, but they can be like they can be like miles away. You're like, oh fuck, something's
I think the best way I could describe sleep paralysis is probably that mythical creature, the succubus.
I mean,
Basically,
that's pretty much
yeah.
exactly
yeah, it's
That's a very good
supernatural
description.
between science and supernatural, which is and no matter what it is, all those things are hard to explain. So I kind of don't like dabbling on it, you know.
Mhm.
But I used, obviously, I'm pretty sure half of us have
Yeah.
gone through some supernatural experience where like, oh fuck, what is
where
that?
you can't explain it.
Exactly.
You just
Yeah,
can't explain it. Those
unexplainable.
blacker than black figures that you see
Oh,
sometimes
dude,
in your house
I
or
know.
room that where you can't explain it, where
Yes.
they make the hair on the back of your neck stand up. You know, it's just yeah.
Here, I'm gonna tell you a story. This like a long time ago, I used to live in LA, and I was living with my aunt and uncle and my cousins. And according to them, they would see a guy in the house that would like run down the hall with a white shirt and jeans.
Mhm.
So he's kind of like greaser status. So I didn't believe. I'm like, that's bullshit. You know, it's like that's crap. You probably use because you're Catholic or something. You believe in these things. I know it's just weird. Catholicism is always some weird belief. So
yeah.
So I'm upstairs with my cousin watching a movie, and I'm like, you know what? I feel like to go grabbing a chocolate chip cookie. So I go downstairs. As I'm grabbing the cookie, I'm halfway grabbing actually grab the cookie.
Oh, this story.
Yeah, and then I hear something, and next to my ear, like really close like this, goes, "Get out!" And I drop the cookie halfway out the kitchen. I go, "Fuck that!" I'm grabbing my cookie and I ran. I was like, I came down for a fucking cookie.
Yeah.
That is scary. I'm fucking hungry. So who's gonna win? Fucking ghosts or fucking
or your appetite. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, literally that thing actually felt like it was right next to my ear. And then I've a couple of times sleeping, I felt someone like push my back down.
I've had that happen.
Yeah.
Somebody's pushed me. You know that feeling when you're on your bed and somebody steps on your bed?
Yes.
I've had that where I've been like, what the fuck? And there was one night where I had a real bad sleep paralysis incident, and my blanket was actually being pulled from me very slowly. That was really freaky. But yeah, those there's a guy at my house that I've seen since I was a kid. I call him the Hat Man. And it's crazy because... if you Google like Hat Man entity or whatever, it's like a modern myth or whatever, something like that. But I mean, I've seen it. I had a buddy of mine see it. My wife's seen it before. My sister seen it without me knowing. I moved to Phoenix. She came out to visit one time, and we were drinking and we were talking and we were just opening up about everything. And I told her about this figure I've seen since I was a kid, and she dropped what was in her hand. She started crying like a baby, and I'm like, "What the fuck what? I'm sorry. What did I say?" And she's like, "I didn't know you've seen him too, but I've always seen him too." And I was like, damn, like that's just kind of crazy.
I've read about look, so like you guys like the whole, the art poem and stuff. I love the fucking supernatural. I love reading about it.
Same here.
Like I fucking ghosts, all this shit. There's some things I won't dabble in, like demons. I'm like, fuck that. I'm like, you dabble into that, you just dabble into.
That's a different door.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a door that sometimes can't be closed.
Exactly. Yeah. So I stopped dabbling in that. I'm like, fuck that shit. But I read about the Hat Man, and I've never heard, like I've read so many stories about it, but I've never actually heard it physically. That's fucking crazy. When you said the Hat Man, I was like, oh, you gotta be fucking shitting me.
Yeah, I had an old buddy of mine named Steve. One night, we got back from the bar, and in the middle of the night, I was on my bed, and he was sleeping on the couch in my room because he was too drunk to drive, and we were hanging out, and he was like, Bro, he woke me up. It must have been like 3 or 4 in the morning. He was like, there was a dude outside your window. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, dude, he just had a hat on with like a long like trench coat. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's homeboy, dude. I've seen that guy since I was a kid. And he's like, what the fuck was it? And I was like, I have no idea what it was, but he's around,
Still until now?
Yeah, I see him quite often actually. I see him a lot in the garage, but he changes shape. Like he either gets shorter or taller. And I see him a lot, like in the middle of the night when I get something to drink, or I'll take my dogs out. Like I'll walk by to where the garage is open, and you can see it. It's blacker than black, You can see it.
Do you see it from forward, or do you see it from like?
I've seen it from all angles.
Oh, okay,
yeah, from all angles.
And then what's your reaction? Because it sounds like
my reaction is like, hey, what's up?
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
Like, hey, what's up? It's you again. You having a good night over there, or what? You having a party in the garage without me, or what, dude? Like, yeah.
Do you actually talk to it like that?
No, I don't. Like, I try to avoid it because I don't want him to. Well, obviously he's comfortable already because he's been there for X amount of years. But I don't want to engage him. I mean, I have nothing to say to him. I mean,
I'm pretty sure you've heard about the supernatural if you engage with something like that.
You kind of it kind of attaches to you and stuff like that. So
that's fucking crazy.
It's weird because I recently moved to Phoenix a few years ago. Now that I'm back. And I'm staying with some family in the same house that I've seen that when I was a kid, and lo and behold, there it is all over again.
Fuck.
So it's like I don't know. I don't know what to call it.
So it did stop when you went to Texas.
When I went to Phoenix. When I went to Phoenix, nothing like that ever happened over there. But as soon as I got back here in the same house when I was a kid, there it is all over again.
Probably the house.
Probably. Yeah.
And because it's weird because you moved. Either your house or probably one of the family members is attached to something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot of houses, and mainly what I've noticed in San Diego, there's a lot of like condemned houses.
Yeah.
Because whether they thought it was fucking haunted or somebody died there, and they're just kind of like, want to stray away from that house and move somewhere else.
Sure.
So even here, I'm sure that we have something like that here, but I refuse to kind of like, that whole ghost or anything like that. I kind of stray away from it as much as I can because
it's awesome you guys have an open forum to discuss this kind of stuff because I've attempted to talk to other people about this kind of thing, and they just
Yeah.
look at you like you have no idea what the fuck's going on with reality right now. Like,
Right.
are you completely out of your
Yeah.
mind right now? And it's
Yeah.
like, I'm not. I'm here, and you know, like
Yeah.
So it's cool.
It's very hard to relate to other people. Because,
Yeah,
again,
yeah.
like I said, they never experienced it before. That's why they
Mhm.
think, oh, this fucking guy's crazy.
Yeah, yeah,
You know?
pretty
Oh,
much.
yeah. Yeah, it's true. It's, like you said, you explain shit to people. It's like, oh, I don't believe. I don't think they don't believe it. I think they just choose to ignore it, to believe that they're in like Willy Wonka's land.
Yeah, I think they've been repressed to believing in other things that will entitle them the freedom of thought to
Exactly.
welcome other thoughts into their minds. So
Perfect.
they're-
Yeah, that's super true. And you know what's funny? Like the way you explain it, that's exactly not exactly the way like that, but I've told people like that. It's like the way that you believe that that's not true is you're pretty much programmed to think that it's not true.
Mhm.
You don't want to believe the truth because you want to ignore it.
Yeah.
It's too much stress for you, and so fuck you.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm pretty sure in their life they saw something and they're like, oh no, it's science. It was a fucking shadow.
Yeah,
You know,
but I
it's-
mean, based on how they've been bred and what they've, like, what is that saying? That eat, sleep, shit, repeat kind of thing. Their
Yeah.
whole life, you know,
Mhm.
based on that, it's kind of like their own concept of how they come to describe it.
True.
You know.
And it's true because you know what, where I work at right now, it's like that. They like, oh, I'm gonna do overtime. Oh, like how come you don't stay for the time that you have to stay for? I was like, because I'm making money, you know, but at the same time I'm comfortable with what I'm making, so I'd rather leave early, live my life. Those 30 minutes that I can leave, that I'm working, I can go home
Mhm.
and waste.
It's 30 minutes you could be trafficking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Well, overtime, this and that. It's like, no, I'd rather, if someone asked me to go to work today, I was like, no, I'm gonna have some free time for myself. You know, the people are so programmed to, you know, work, shit, and all this shit.
Mhm.
You know, that's
Mhm.
exactly what they do.
Mhm.
Instead of going, wait, how about where's time for life? Where's time for you? And,
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
know, you can't, there's, fuck
That's
that.
that's an issue. Well, nowadays, because people like to work,
Yeah.
and they forget that they have their own life,
Mhm.
and they're saying, "Oh, you know what? I have no fucking time for this. I have to be working all the time." It's like you do have time.
You have to make time.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, but sometimes people choose to work because
Mhm.
either they're stuck in a fucking like turmoil, they're in debt or some shit, and they have no choice but to work.
Yeah.
And when they do have free time, they're like, "Shit, I shouldn't be doing this because I got
Oh,
too much
guilty and
res-"
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they feel guilt. Yeah.
Guilty.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, but
But that's how we were programmed. We were
Yeah.
programmed to feel guilty for something we should, like what we should do.
yeah,
So we're guilty. Yeah, you know what I mean?
for,
It's
for
like-
me, the whole idea of, money is everything, I'm not really for that because I like to enjoy life.
True.
And because everything you have to pay for. There's nothing in this world that's really free,
Mm.
you know?
Yeah.
And I believe that you can make time for everything. And I don't know, it's like everybody has money on their fucking mind. That's all they really care about.
Yeah, it's disgusting, and
Yeah.
I'm with you too. But I mean, it's that you see it online. This $1 rules your life, and it's
Yep.
sad because
Mhm.
it does. It does. That $1 controls everything that you do on a daily basis.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's
like,
like
you
you
say
have-
that because I said that before. It's like I remember taking out $1 and I'm like, oh, look, this thing here
Mhm.
can buy you everything. I'm like, this can buy a person, like it can buy a person to kill another person. This can do everything. Like this literally.
This can buy more.
Exactly.
dollars. Yeah.
Exactly.
exactly.
That's crazy. That's
it,
good.
Yeah.
That's perfect to hear someone say that
Yeah.
too. It's like, wow, that's amazing. Now I'm not the only one that thinks like this.
I know,
Yeah.
it's just really sad to see that people just have like a fucking ball and chain because of that, Like money has like a tight grip on you,
It sure does. Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. But
Yeah.
and other things too, talking about the supernatural, they say that the dollars, the symbols on the dollar, are supernatural itself. Like symbolism on it. It's,
Oh yeah, I was
right?
watching some stuff on that today. I don't know if you guys ever heard of David Icke.
Yes.
David Icke. I was
Reptilians
watching.
and
I was watching his couple documentaries this morning on YouTube about his reptilian shapeshifters and the bloodlines, the Illuminati bloodlines, and all that.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, the
That's-
symbolism on the dollar bill is just
Yeah,
it's
the
pretty
pyramid
intense.
and all this shit. They all seeing
even the way Washington D.C. is mapped out, the streets and everything,
pentagram?
the owl, the pentagrams,
Yeah.
the Freemason symbolry, and
That's crazy.
Oh, dude, there's a lot of shit you don't even know. That's even the tower. What was that? Not the fucking tower.
Are you talking a point?
Yeah.
I know what you're talking
It's like
about.
it's like it's supposed to symbolize the flaccid.
Oh yeah, the flaccid and the penis.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like glorifying the penis. So like it's all witchcraft because of the Baphomet.
I think you were telling me that one time. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that statue of George Washington that's in the shape of the Baphomet
Yes.
too. Yeah.
Yep. So see, I'm not the only one.
Oh yeah.
There's many.
Yeah.
When it comes to this subject, I kind of like just fade into the background, you know?
Yeah.
Because you two know about this guy's the biggest conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, I'm all about it, man.
Right?
Yeah.
Because some of it makes sense. It's not that it doesn't make sense. It's just some things do correlate to one thing to another.
Yeah.
And then until you start seeing a lot of shit. So you watch the news, you're like, wait, I've seen this before. That's bullshit, type like the whole Trump thing. I mean, that sounds like.
Or the terror act, the stage actors. It's the same people in the background giving interviews that
Exactly.
are there at the same place when it happens. The Boston bombing and the Philadelphia school shootings, and you have the same people on screen under different names, but it's the same people giving interviews. Oh, we were here when this happened. And it's like I don't know. I mean, that's kind of like different subjects, but once you dive into that, man, it's a endless hole of like digging because you just dig and dig and dig.
Yeah, I know. That's why I stopped halfway there. I did stop. Yeah. There was a point where in the beginning of our podcast, I did go crazy for all this. Who knows? I went crazy. Like I literally, there was something in my head that I couldn't stop. I just went crazy. Let's say that. Like I literally started repeating stuff in my head that didn't make sense. I'm like, what the fuck? It's like, why am I, saying certain things? But eventually, I guess the lack of sleep because working out.
Yeah, sleep deprivation.
Sleep deprivation will definitely mess with your mental.
Oh fuck yeah, dude!
Yeah,
and then
really will.
literally.
That's why you see a lot of people that were like businessmen or fucking like college teachers, and they're all on the street now because all that sleep deprivation and all that thinking, all that crazy thinking, just made them go beyond that, and they can't even function in society anymore because just the idea of what they talk about just throws people off.
Oh yeah. It's like this conversation we're having right here in this room. Guaranteed, and I know you both have experienced this too. You try to talk to anybody else that you know about this kind of stuff that does not have an open mind about it.
Yeah,
they're gonna look at you like you're just completely insane.
That's true.
But
they'll either do one of two things. They'll either listen to you because they're forced to,
exactly,
and they're gonna exit, or they'll walk away.
Yeah.
And it's true because I've never. I'm a person who has a tendency to talk a lot, and I don't really care if people stare at me all weird, but. For the first time with this new job I do have, I've noticed people who stared at me all weird when I said, like, I don't think people are meant to work a lot or money is everything to you guys. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, oh, you're weird. Like, oh yeah. That's when you can tell, it's like, okay, you don't know anything but what I was thinking about. We can't relate, in other words.
That's exactly how I feel at work, man. Some people, you're talking about politics in the break room. You're like, hey, so what do you think? And I'm like, I'm probably the last guy you want to talk to about this shit, man. I'll just keep it to myself because you would not fucking understand what I'm about to throw at you right now. Like, leave me alone.
See,
let me eat my avocado, man.
That's the one thing I don't really like. People bring up politics. I'm like, you know what? We're in a bar, and I'm trying to have a good time. I'm not trying to debate with you over who is a better fucking president. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a time and place for that.
There's a time and place for that.
And a lot of times, it's never the right time for that because my opinion and your opinion is always going to conflict. It's going to be a never-ending debate.
Yeah.
So we'll stop here,
Yeah.
But it is fun. It's a fun thing. I enjoy that.
You learn a lot about people.
Yeah, exactly.
Within the first 5 minutes of a political conversation, you learn a lot about that person.
Fuck yeah! Like I used to tell people, like, whenever I meet people, whether it be like a significant other or a potential friend, the first hour I immediately know if this person's gonna last. And then, okay, if I don't like what he says, like, or anything he talks about, like, oh, this guy's too fucking close-minded, we'll never be friends. Yeah. Yeah. It's just like that.
But it's true too. But the other thing is to, like, you can see what their limit is when they crack, when they get really mad. It's like, okay, I know your limit.
Yeah. I know where you stand.
Exactly.
And now, since I know where you stand, I'm never going to talk to you again for the rest of my life.
Yeah,
you stay over there and I'll stay over here and we'll be all right.
Yeah, it's usually the younger generations, like from like 23 and below.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are the most closed-minded. Anything you bring up, like what we talk about now, they'll be like, I don't give a fuck about this.
Well, everybody on social media now has a master's degree in politics.
I know.
Right.
Everybody has a doctorate in politics now, so everybody's right. Everybody's opinion matters, and I just laugh at it all.
I kind of hate that shit.
It's entertaining though. It's a good form of entertainment. It is.
Like it's funny because I always said this before. Like I feel like this generation is like a lot of brainwashed. So I'm like I always tell Michael, and I always say in the podcast, like if our generation, which is ours, like dies off, there's nobody else to defend these idiots to be, yeah. So if we die, let's say we die off, right? That means it's gonna take the next generation to be easily influenced to get like a chip on your arm or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Because right now people are going little by little. Yes, you can tell they're like trying to influence it, but it's like, oh no, it's not taking.
They're taking little steps right now.
Exactly.
iPhone X features and even like things like Snapchat and Instagram features where they scan the face and all that. That's all monitored, that's all in one big database. People don't realize it. I mean, it's cute, it's fun, let's get together and do this. But I mean, there's a lot more depth to that.
There really is.
Damn,
but that's crazy, but it's true. Like that's what I always tell them. It's like I think the next generation after the one that is right now, it's gonna be easily influenced by
And the way that this generation is progressing, they're just gonna rely on social media. Period. So I wouldn't doubt in the next 20 years, nobody's gonna leave their fucking house. Everybody's communicate through fucking their either laptops or their phones, and they'll even just be in front of a fucking laptop with a fucking webcam and start drinking with their friends, but they're at their houses,
Yeah.
Like, it's just the way,
narcissistic.
Yeah, you could see it happening slowly.
Mm-hmm. This is the narcissistic era.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
I take selfies once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's because when I'm stressed out, it's like, people need to know I'm fucking stressed out. It's just weird.
Yeah, it's more like ironic.
But you have those people who do like every day, every other hour, and it's like, hey, I just seen your face like an hour ago. Did it change that much? Like,
I know.
I know what you look like in case you're kidnapped or anything like that.
It's true.
Those people just kind of really get on my nerves.
And it's weird too because even I find it weird like how people are taking videos or like they're like talking to the phone. And I in my head, instead of, in Instagram, you see their faces and it seems like they're talking to everybody else. Mm-hmm. But in reality, if you're outside that, you see a person with a phone and talking to, like, an inanimate object, right? And that's weird to me. I can't do that. It's like, hey, what's up, guys? It's like, I feel stupid because there's a lot of people around me going, what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah.
Probably, it's like type of weird. It's weird. Because our generation wasn't used to that. It was more used to probably chatting. Super Nintendo.
If that. Yeah. I think I come from a little bit of a different generation than you guys probably, because you guys were coming up when like the whole MySpace thing kicked in, right? And Facebook and all that, right? See.
Yeah, you're much older.
I'm 30. I'm 35 years old.
He's 35.
I'm 35.
29, and he's about to be 30.
30, yeah.
Okay, so we're not that far off.
No, we're not
that far off.
Very far off.
Yeah. Well, props to you guys. You guys were young.
Zanga, you remember Zanga?
Yeah, I do.
See, there you go.
You
understand.
Yeah, so we're not that far off. 5 years,
No.
that ain't shit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The only reason why we look young is because he's also half Japanese, and I'm Filipino. So
Okay.
I guess it,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure you
genetics,
you remember ICQ.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
See, there you go. It's like if that after you remember, that, then there's no dispute. But in reality, that's true. We were raised with little things like, hey, what's up? Trying to communicate with other people across the world. That's what we were trying to be multicultural. Now it's just like, I don't give a shit about other people. Hello.
We were all part of the internet blew up era.
Yeah, exactly. Because nowadays, when kids grow up, they have fucking smartphones. They're completely disconnected to the world. Yeah. Like for us,
that is their world.
Yeah, that's their world. For us, like in the 90s, if I hit this fool up, like, hey man, let's go out and ride our bikes and shit. But now, you do that shit now, hey, let's go fucking play Call of Duty online. Yeah. That's how it is, Yeah. Like, they're missing out on so much. Yeah. Like, they don't know how to have fun. Their idea of fun is watching fucking Netflix or fucking playing video games. Yeah. And when I was a kid, it's all about going outside and getting
dirty.
Getting fucking dirty,
Being a kid.
Yeah.
Being a kid, fucking hopping on the bus and trolley.
We
didn't have no Ubers, we didn't have no Lyfts,
exactly.
We didn't have none of that shit. It was like, hey, I'll be there. You live in Logan Heights, or I'll see you like 2 hours from where I gotta get the 934 bus, and then I gotta hit Iris trolley, and then go all the way up to like 12th and Imperial, dude. Like that was a mission back in the day.
It is. It was, man. I feel like this generation's a lot lazier.
Well, everything's I guess what I like to call spoon fed.
Yeah, they're overprivileged because they have so many things that we didn't have.
I work for a major corporation, and I talk to our members all day long, and I give it to them straightforward, maybe too straightforward sometimes when they chat in, because I run their live chat on their website, and they're like, hey, I need this, I need that. I'm like, cool, you can find this on Google.
Yeah.
You know, well, can you do it for me? I'm like, yeah, I can Google it for you right now. I mean, you're on the internet as well, but if you'd like, I can Google it for you. You know, they just, I think everybody's just so used to everything being within arm's reach.
Exactly.
I want it now. Give it to me now. I don't want to have to work for it. I want this shit now. You know.
Yeah.
It's funny because it's
They
true.
have it easy nowadays, you know.
You know, I work at a hotel, and I've worked in that shit since I was 18. I think it's 10 years. No, 11 years.
10, 11 years.
Yeah. So, I remember 18. You know, working in the hotel, first job. It wasn't as stressful as it is now. I'm already experienced doing this, so I shouldn't feel the same thing I felt at 18 that I feel now. You know, the anxiety of people just being assholes. Then people were kind of like patient.
Yeah.
Now people are just fucking assholes straight up. Like people don't fuck. They're gonna pay less and like I want this up here, like high standard. Like fuck no. What are you paying $54 and you want a fucking jacuzzi in your fucking room? You're gonna get a fucking tub and a fucking toilet.
Well, everybody wants a handout, man.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that whole? I'd like to talk about this. I noticed you guys said you guys were about 30 years old, going on 30 or whatever case.
Yeah.
Did you guys go through this this I'm hitting 30 crazy phase of like the first few months before you actually hit 30, where like you questioned everything and everyone in your life? Like I went through that. You know how they say like in movies and in books or whatever, you go through this phase right before you turn 30 of like, oh shit, hold on, the ride's gonna get fast. Like I went through this phase before I actually turned 30 of like I cut people out of my life. I stopped talking to certain people. I questioned everything around me. It was just like a very dramatic few months for me.
25.
25 was
I
yours?
did it 25.
Yeah, for me it was 26.
26.
Yeah, because you start, I don't know, I guess it just hits you all at once, you know, like all these things. And it's very overwhelming to say, you know.
Yeah, I was around 25 or 24 because I moved out at 19 to LA. I think around the first 2-3 years I lived out there, I think the last 2 years is when it hits me hard. And it was fucking, like you said, roller coaster, start questioning everything. Conspiracy theories kicked in out of nowhere. It's like,
you go through like a state of anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
Like, holy fuck, I'm getting older. Like everybody's like on their own trip now. I don't know these people anymore. They're not the same people I knew when I was younger. Like it's a trip.
But now I don't even do that anymore. But you know what I do now? And now it's because I'm close to 30. I literally just like I used to call it the age of the don't give a fuck. I'm already 30. Like I can be myself and I can be fucking non-filtered.
I love that.
Yeah, you know, I feel like
that.
now that you reach this certain age, you just start caring less and less about it.
You really do. You really do. Like, hey,
Yeah.
cool, you guys are down with me? Fuck yeah, I'm down with you guys too. I'll ride with you guys, but you know what? If not, cool, I'll see you next time. Like, it's no big sweat off my balls, as they say.
It's almost like you're very passive about certain things.
Or should I say something else to be politically incorrect? 'Cause I know you had some people call some things out. That's another topic, being politically correct. I hate that, man. I cannot stand that.
That's a big one.
Yeah, you got to make sure not to. Fuck that. If I hurt your feelings, good. Maybe you needed a headbutt or a chest bump. Like maybe you needed a taste of that. You know.
Okay. Everybody has a right to their own opinions. And some people can't fucking accept it because they have this idea of their fucking perfect world. When they know in the back of their fucking head, the world is not fucking perfect at all. And there's always going to be people that will be against you. There's always going to be people that have like different opinions from you. And there's going to be people they're going to fucking hate you for dumbest reasons. For example, like that girl on that fucking, on her YouTube. She was so pissed about that. And for us, it didn't affect us because we thought.
I bet she had hairy pits, by the way. I can totally see her typing it up, and she had hair. You know what I'm talking about.
We welcome the hate. We welcome any form of comments because you know it's more attention on us. Yeah, so we don't really care.
Definitely.
It's bad publicity, good publicity. It's all good.
Publicity in general is good.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
That's exactly what I was telling him. I was like when he texted me about the comment, I let him know. I was like, dude, just fucking put the comment. I don't give a shit. Again, I'm always saying this, and I'm like, I don't give a shit. Yeah. Dude, let them say whatever the fuck I want. I'm gonna laugh. Yeah. I'm not there. You know, there's certain words you shouldn't say, and that's when you get your ass kicked. But if there's like one little thing like that, it's like, say whatever the fuck you want. I'm down to respond and laugh my ass off.
She couldn't be so wrong because the episode that she left it on was episode 28. We discussed certain things about like what she thought. Like she was like, oh yeah, they have no idea how women think. You know, but we didn't even really talk about that. We
No.
talked about a whole different subject.
It was her interpretation of it.
Yeah, her
getting
interpretation.
butthurt in her little room
Yes.
saying, "No,
Yeah.
fuck this, they're wrong. I'm right again. I'm the
Yeah.
prophet of social media. I'm gonna announce
Exactly.
my
Yeah.
vision here, and they're gonna
Like,
have to
they-
accept it because I'm right."
They called me a scumbag. They called fucking Pony over here.
Full of
Yeah.
myself.
Full of himself.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You got it on point, lady.
Well, we kind of have to be full of ourselves. What other way is there to be? If you're
I
not
know,
full of
right?
yourself,
That's
right?
exactly it.
What do you
It
want me
goes
to be,
back
some
to
kind of
that-
schlub and just hang out in my room
Yeah.
all day? It's not gonna happen, you know.
Yeah.
And it goes back to that, like, I don't give I still don't give a shit what people say.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna respect people as they are.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go, hey, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, because she was even saying that we disrespect women, and I'm like, I have
Yeah.
the most respect
Oh,
for
yeah.
women.
I didn't understand it
Are
because
you
we
fucking
heard.
kidding
I
me?
heard the fucking
Yeah.
episode. I was like, we were saying things that people think, and we disagreed onto it.
Yeah.
I was like, how?
I mean,
Where are you getting this
Everybody could interpret our podcast the way they want, but a lot of people misinterpret it, and I'm just sitting there like, you couldn't be any more wrong.
But
than you
the
are now.
other thing, I asked him to look at the profile, and she had a YouTube channel, right?
She does,
She
but the
has
thing is,
nothing on
there's
it.
nothing on it. It's just
So-
by default because Google owns YouTube.
Yeah.
So by default, you have a YouTube account.
Oh, okay.
So there's
Because I was tripping out. It's like,
Yeah.
wait, are these like probably I'm pretty sure you heard this before, where there's a podcast or this person talking and they get this person to some random bullshit, right?
Mhm.
Talking shit, in other words.
Yeah.
And they have no profile, they have no views, they haven't done anything. It was just more of like a person, probably like some sort of corporate.
It's like a fake account, let's say.
There you go.
Yeah,
It's like a fake
yeah.
account. People who troll to get paid to troll.
There you
exactly.
go.
Yeah, that's what it felt
That's
like
what
because
I thought.
I was thinking, a lot of the things she was saying, because there's no punctuation, it's all just random words put together. I'm like, this is probably like a fucking 18-year-old that didn't
Yeah.
experience life
Yeah,
whatsoever.
she probably gets paid to do that.
I think
Yeah.
so. That's
Not
exactly.
only on your guys' channel, but several channels. It's
Yeah.
like those people that do that
Exactly,
shit for Yelp.
Yeah,
Right.
Half those fucking
yeah.
reviews are just bullshit anyway.
Yep,
They're flawed
yeah.
anyway in itself. So
that's exactly what I was telling him. It's like, I think that was corporate person
I wouldn't doubt
getting
it.
paid for it. I'm like, holy shit, how come this person hasn't views, doesn't viewed anything except for our shit? And all of a sudden, I fucking hate this thing. It's like, wow. So you basically just heard like probably 5 minutes of it. And you're like, hey, said something.
Yeah, because I was trying to figure out what she was talking about from that podcast, and I listened to the whole thing, and I found the section I thought she was talking about, but a lot of things she mentioned in her fucking paragraph. Because what I showed you, there was a lot more to that. There was like another additional paragraph.
Oh,
on
really?
the bottom.
So she
Yeah.
went in on you guys.
Yep.
Oh,
And I was
okay.
thinking to myself, okay, this is a section I think she might be talking about, but what she's mentioning is not even on this podcast. And then he thought, oh, maybe she listens to other podcasts. I'm like, you know what? I checked the views on the other ones. There's no new views on other ones besides that one.
Mhm.
So she must have just,
She probably got paid for it.
yeah, she must have just fucking wrote about that little section of our podcast, and then she just fucking stretched it out.
Don't get me wrong, that was hilarious. That was fucking hilarious fucking comment I ever read. I was reading it, I was just like driving the car and just laughing. I was like, wow, this is funny.
So much hate, right?
Right,
So much
yeah,
hate.
exactly.
So much
In
hate
one comment?
directed at like this.
Yeah.
Like why? That's the thing, man. I found that people, they'll smile in your face, and we've all experienced this. They'll shake your hand and oh yeah, this and that. But when it comes down to time to fucking show balls, as they say,
Yeah,
they're nowhere to
Yeah.
be found.
it's true.
So
Yeah.
people that I don't know, people that you would think would support you the most.
They don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's sad because it just really sucks.
It
It
does,
does.
like
You know?
like for me, like closest friends I've known for a long time. Like I don't have many friends,
Mhm.
obviously. Like he's one of my good friends, and you're probably one of my good friends too.
Yeah.
And then I have another good friend, and it's limited to maybe I could probably name them all in one hand, because having like a lot of friends, because you don't know which one's a real friend, and you can't really tell which one are real and which one's fake.
Yeah.
So.
A lot of people want to see you fail so they can succeed.
Exactly. Like,
No.
I'm better than you. It's
Yeah.
like, fuck you.
They'll claim to be on
Yeah.
on your side to succeed together, but when the time comes to
Yeah.
do shit,
oh, yeah.
it's one or the other. But it's all good, It's cool that I think that makes us stronger in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Head fast, straightforward, and tunnel vision that shit,
I know,
Right,
right?
yeah.
Let's go fucking super fucking back to the past then.
Yeah.
What is it? Oh fuck! Back to the Future.
Back
There
to
you
the
go.
future on it. Yeah,
Fucking-
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool.
Wow, man.
But that's fucking no, that's true. People strange.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Especially in this day of age, man, with the government we have and what's been established and everything, it's just
strange.
It's just really funny to see that people are still so butthurt about shit.
Yeah.
There's so much ugly in this world. Like,
there is so much.
Why do you have to be so butthurt about everything? Like, what happened to having a sense of humor?
I know.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that goes to a funeral, and I have a smirk on my face because I'm thinking of the most random shit. Like, hey, remember that one time I did this to that person? I'm like, ha ha ha. But like, it's not the time or place to do so.
Right.
But I'm just that guy,
Uh-huh.
you know. So I'm a clown, man. It's really hard for me to be serious sometimes.
I know it's true, and it's like even the darkest time is like the best time to like laugh.
Exactly.
You know, like I love laughing. I love this. I love laughing. I like making people laugh.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thing. I love it. I'll say random shit just for fun.
Yeah.
And eventually I was like, I always end my sentence with like, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Don't listen to me because I don't know what the fuck I just said.
Yeah.
And that's where it ends. I usually tell these people at work because I say shit just to get them going. It's like, you need to be fucking happy. I don't want fucking anger. I don't want people to be scared.
Yeah. Stop holding on to shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be the guy who's running up and down the hall, just saying random shit like, and you'll probably see me pass your doorway. He's like, oh, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
It's me. It's like, because I'm just fucking making you laugh because it makes me happy.
Setting the tone, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Set the tone. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly what I do. Like sometimes I'll go into work, pretty quiet, pretty annoyed about something. But eventually, once I get into the mood, I was like, you know what, fuck it, let's just all laugh. I kind of enjoy that. I kind of enjoy just the mood of people just like, oh, these big ass smile on their face instead of stressing out,
Yeah.
So I don't like the
Definitely.
stress. Yeah.
Definitely.
Because I'm going to work, I might as well have fun, right?
Yeah.
Just say random shit. But it's politics nowadays is weird. I mean, we got a president that we don't understand how that happened.
President, I don't know, the things that comes out of his mouth really starts me to question how the hell he got elected.
I'm one of those firm believers that presidents aren't elected. That they're kind of just bred to be presidents and part of that inner working to, hey, we want this guy to run and we're going to make sure it happens that he wins kind of thing.
Exactly.
I have zero faith in the voting system.
Thank you.
I think voting is shit.
Because actually the voting does not help at all. It's just, okay, they compile everybody's vote from the whole U.S., but they just kind of put that aside, and then they're the ones that make the decision if he's going to be president.
And it's true. What happened with Bush?
Yeah.
Remember when he was quote unquote almost losing Florida?
Yeah.
And they had that interview and they asked him, so what's going to happen if this? And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm going to win. What do you like? My brother's the governor here. What are you talking about? Like, I'm going to lose, really? Like,
their destiny,
Yeah, no, I think it goes farther than that. But again, that's coming back to like the Illuminati and
all that shit.
And the bloodlines and all that. But I mean, there's been a lot of research I've done. I'm sure you guys have dug into this too, where all presidents are linked with blood.
Yeah.
Like 13th cousins or like 9th cousins or something like that. Like Obama is like John McCain's like 7th cousin or something like that. Yeah.
What do they call that? That skull and crossbones
Oh, the
thing?
Skull and Bones Society?
Yeah.
It's that thing, yeah.
So I think they're all intertwined. And I think presidents that we have now, I think the last true president we had was John F. Kennedy.
Thank you.
Oh, yes.
But we all know what happened to him.
Fuck yeah.
And why it happened to him.
Because he started revealing too many secrets. And
a couple of weeks
like,
before he was assassinated, quote unquote assassinated, he demanded the release of all internal files for like Project Blue Book and UFOs research and everything. And he wanted to blow the cover and everything, and then boom, bullet in his head. So
they wanted to silence
He was doing a lot of things. He was going to do the dollar instead of the dollar, depending on gold. He was going to do it on silver. And like you said, like he was doing all this shit. He even said in the speech that there are like dark forces controlling this country. There's a speech about this.
Yes,
like,
Like, I love that speech. I know what speech you're talking about. It's a very moving speech.
Exactly.
I listened to that. I've heard it a few times. It's
I
very
had it
moving.
on my phone for as like fucking a wallpaper. I was like, people, how do people not know this?
Yeah.
Eisenhower said this shit too.
No, because presidents, they're in the know. They know what's going on behind the scenes. I mean, that's why they're there. But
like there was interviews with JFK. Like he revealed all the government secrets, but he kind of like said it like vaguely. But if you actually
in a very classy way,
if you listen to it, like holy shit, he's revealing a lot right now. You could even, it's crazy,
I know. I always think about like how Marilyn Monroe. That's where she kicked in. that was the candy.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, here you go, come on, like lure you into this shit.
And then what happened to her?
Man, bam.
You know,
And she like probably fell into his shit. And it's like, oh
yeah,
fuck.
that's one big can of worms, man.
Yeah,
But,
because if you see what happens after like JFK, then those other presidents. The presidents after that, it seems like they're getting more and more stupid.
Mhm.
Oh, dude.
Like, okay, the last president, Obama, he was more of a celebrity than he was a president of the fucking U.S. Like, he was on talk shows. He was in
Fashion Week and
yeah,
He was like the Will Smith of fucking
yeah, like
president.
he
Right?
was looked at a politician, and then we got this fucking Trump. He's a business tycoon, and the shit that comes out of his mouth, it just makes me question. That's not very professional. But if you want to be direct about it, I guess it makes sense. Like, he's calling the leader of North Korea Rocket Man,
Yeah.
which is ridiculous. It's like, bro.
That's
You're-
Elton John.
Are you Elton John?
Yeah.
That's insane. Like Mr. President Toupee, it's like fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
You know what? I really think they knew what they were doing though behind the scenes with that, because who else to represent them and their table than somebody who's all about money and the dollar.
Mm-hmm.
All about money, crude oil, the dollar. Let's make it happen. Let's cut the borders. Let's promote the borders. Let's keep these people out, keep these people in, kind of thing.
Yeah.
The jester.
He is a great puppet for them.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Yeah.
doing exactly what they want, and people bought it.
You know what's funny? I've told this like you said like before. I've said this to people. It's like the president is basically a spokesman, it's a person to blame too, but in
Yes.
reality, who's behind him?
Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah.
He doesn't control shit. He only controls certain things. But I mean, what? Who
He's
controls?
he's a spokesperson. He's a front man. He's
Exactly.
a face. He's a face for the public.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And people are like, "No, what are you talking about? Like this?" I'm like, "No, I don't think you know what you're talking about." These people are trying to like speak to you in certain ways.
Yeah.
But in behind, who actually controls the council?
Oh, yeah, you dig into like Bilderberg and like the Council of the 13
Yes.
and Bohemian Grove and things of that nature. Like those guys behind the scenes actually run the council of the UN and all that. I mean, so
That's insane.
he's a salesman. He's a great salesman. I'll put it
He
that
is.
much.
Oh yeah,
he's a
of
great
course.
salesman.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, he really knows how to sell things.
Yeah.
Even though he says it in a very primitive way, for some reason people are buying it. It works with them, you know. For me, it's like I'm questioning. No, you know what? Even if he does say it that way, he kind of dumbs it down to the fucking the next redneck, and it can relate to them because he doesn't use too many complex words that would confuse people. You know, Rocket Man and Destroy and blah blah blah.
He likes being called daddy though.
Yeah.
You guys see that?
It's-
Yeah, he likes
No,
it. Yeah,
Oh my
he
god,
likes
it's
being called daddy.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
like it doesn't push my buttons, but it kind of makes me think like, how did he get elected? Why is he our president?
I just when I first heard he was running, I just kept thinking like I can't imagine him sitting at a table with world leaders like
I
that.
know.
Like, see, he doesn't really have any political. He
Spaghetti
doesn't have
on
political
space.
background.
Anything. No.
He just has businesses.
He has money though.
For me,
Yeah.
like I don't want to say this, but just seeing how he's gonna, I could see how he's gonna run things in the future. I'd rather have Arnold Schwarzenegger as the fucking president.
I do.
Because
yeah.
at least he
But-
has political background. He went to school for that.
But he's dating one of the Kennedys, so. that's
And
a
he
good
was
thing.
married to one of the Kennedys, so he knows his shit.
And that was a scandal in itself, remember?
Yeah.
So I mean,
he started cheating on her or something.
Yeah.
But
like
the
that.
fact that he
Fuck,
kept
dude.
another son a secret for so long that nobody had a clue about, how did he fucking keep it for so long? Because those people the paparazzi, they dig deep. And I'm surprised they didn't find that. I don't know how he
But-
kept it so well.
And again, it always goes to like he was a spokesperson. You know, they still.
Yeah.
Oh, it's weird
Yeah.
because we were talking about this and we eventually start talking about it, but then in the end, it's like this person's only a fucking goat for these people. It's
yeah,
like,
that's it. That's it. They're being ran by a much bigger, stronger complex, and it's you know, people think, oh, he's POTUS, he's a shot caller.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah, there's
The
so
shots
much,
he's calling are not his shots.
so much
those
things
are
we-
mandated and
Yeah.
dictated by a council.
yeah, there's so many things we
that's
don't know
way beyond
nothing
that.
about the government that people, they're just keeping away. They're like, I'm not going to reveal that.
Yeah.
We're not going to reveal our secrets and how we mold a fucking president, you know?
That's crazy though, but yeah, overall, it's funny because this is like the first podcast we actually talk about politics and
Yeah, you know, it's
person agreeing to it.
Probably our only one because you know how the
It's a very sensitive.
It's very-
very sensitive subject, and how we were talking about how there's a big thing about being politically correct nowadays, and
yeah.
there's a reason why personally with the people that I know, whether it's family or close friends, honestly, and I'll say it straight up, there's a reason why I don't post about politics or religion on my Instagram or Facebook, because for me personally, social media is not my platform to do that.
No.
Social media is social media. It's fucking, that's it. It's really no big deal.
Yeah, with social media is more of
Vast.
it's a joke.
I'll leave that up to other people to
Yeah.
piss people off. You know, I've done that plenty of times in my life, and I'm sure the more you get to know me as a person, to spend time with me, and to be my friend, you know where I stand.
Yeah.
But it's not my job to project it out there to the masses because I don't get paid for it.
Exactly.
So why?
Yeah.
So I mean, I can spend all day long posting this and that, and trust me, I can, and I've wanted to, but
Right.
I don't because there are people that I do like and people that I respect and love that I know have different views. I don't want to purposely offend them.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm an asshole, but I mean, I don't want to purposely offend somebody that I know or that I work with or that, you know, that's just not me.
Yeah.
It's not me.
Especially with this podcast, it's very since it's a very sensitive subject, because we even put in our description, we talk about everything except politics and religion because they're so taboo. And I'm sure after this podcast, once I upload it, people are gonna start talking shit like, "Oh, you don't know what you're fucking talking about."
Yeah.
But I'm entitled my opinion. I don't fucking rag on you when you're fucking wrong. You know.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm not a keyboard warrior, as they say, where it's like I don't try to correct people about being politically correct. Hey, if you want to post this about that guy, cool, more power to you. You know, I told you that's your side of the fence. That's where you stand.
We
Awesome.
we even explain that we're not fucking experts on these subjects. We just
Oh,
go
totally,
by fucking like what we research on our laptops or whatever, and we don't have any fucking degrees on this. But
of
them,
course.
they're like fucking warriors.
They'll be the
you
first
know?
to correct you. Yeah,
it's like you're wrong. This is how it is. Blah blah. Then they'll write this whole fucking like paragraph on. I'm like, I'm not gonna bother read that, but you're fucking wrong. You know.
That's true.
Yeah, because you know when I respond to like comments like that, it's like you're not worth my time. You obviously don't understand what we're talking about. Half of the shit we say is bullshit, and half of it's truth, but mostly bullshit. So we don't bother like actually doing like official research. We just go on by opinion from like the first time.
It's opinionated based. That's all.
Yeah,
it is.
that's
and
it. Yeah.
You know, people want to get butthurt about it. You know, that's on
Then
them.
don't
I mean, why
listen.
not? They
Yeah.
get butthurt about everything else.
Exactly.
You know?
Right.
We're like 2 people out of like millions of motherfuckers that does this. Get on their fucking wagon. You know, ours is like nothing compared to like all the other ones.
And it's awesome because you guys openly say and state that, you know what, we're not wrong, we're not right.
Yeah.
We just speak freely, and that's what we do. And if you're down, you want to fucking vibe to it, cool, go for it.
Yeah.
If not, then cool, go for it too. You know, whatever. It's up to you.
You know?
But yeah, you're not throwing it out there like
it's like the same thing that happened
you didn't
to
go
like,
to school with Bill Nye or anything.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes the same with fucking like when Howard Stern, he went on the radio. Everybody's like, there was people that hated him, people that did like him, and there was people that hated him, but they still listened. And they asked why is because they want to hear what he says next. And so the haters and the people that did like them, they both listened because they wanted to hear what he had said next, because it was just so out there, you know, because they never had anybody on the radio like that.
I'm a firm believer in everybody needs a nice firm kick in the ass every once in a while.
Yeah.
A hard dose of reality. Whether it's the reality that I want to give them or the reality that I think they should experience. Sometimes people need a chest bump, dude.
Yep.
They really do.
Yeah.
Sometimes they need to be taken away from their everyday lives, like you were talking about, that everyday grind of where like that mighty dollar rules everything, and say, hey, you know what? Take a detour real quick. Go with me on this little drive, and then you can go back to that. You know?
Yeah,
True,
it's kind
that's
of like
true.
open their mind more, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only way you can, you know, show people life. That's the only way people know life, what life is. Instead of, you know, hey, I'm going to work, go to college, and eventually get out of college, you're in debt. Oh, the American dream is to be in debt, you know, type of situation. Instead of like,
You know, the sad thing is, the American dream is being in debt.
yeah, that's what it is.
That's pretty much what it really is.
Fuck that. But no, yeah, and you know, that little drive would work far in. They're probably, you know, overthink it like we all did. It's like, oh, hey, you know, overthink, and all of a sudden you hit that little fucking roller coaster of like, holy shit, you know, one likes me.
Yeah, exactly. Whoa, where are you taking me? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, fuck, I haven't seen you for months. So then what happens? Like, hey, you're my best friend. Type of thing, you know, it's like, that's the real people are you, and you know what, I don't work as much. I'm kicking it with everybody's, you know, relaxing.
One of the shittiest things I've experienced personally, and I'm sure you guys have too, is like you get to know somebody, and you guys are cool, man. You guys chop it up, you meet up, whatever, kick it, and then like later on down the line, they themselves actually post something, and you're like, what? Like, this whole time, that's you? Like,
fuck.
gross, man. You know, like, damn.
Yeah, because nowadays when you meet somebody new, it's like they have two-faced. They're two-faced. They have their personality in real, like in person, but then when they have like their personality that's home, that's their real personality.
Mm-hmm.
Then when they post shit like fucking like goes against like how they really are, it's like, wait a minute. So you're putting on a fucking act when you're with me, but when you're posting shit online, whether it be like some fucking paragraph or a picture, something that isn't you.
It's that alter ego, man.
Yeah,
Everybody has
really
an alter ego.
Yeah.
You know, everybody has their personas, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Their 9-to-5s.
Yeah.
I'm a different person when I go to work.
Oh, yeah,
straight
of
up.
course.
Oh, yeah.
You have to.
I mean, otherwise,
Exactly.
if I were
If
me
you-
at work, I would have last, you know.
But you know what's the fucked up thing? Is that I straight up tell my coworkers, like, you know what? I even tell them straight up, not even fucking around. I go, you know that after this, I'm not even call you. I won't text you. I only text you if it was at work. Me and you are just friends at work. As far as that goes, anything out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sad thing to say because it's very true because you have your coworkers and then you have your friends in your personal life and you put on this act, not necessarily an act, but you're in work mode, you know?
Yeah.
You see me work, I'm a
Yeah.
different person because I have to be more professional. 'Cause I'm a security guard, so
Okay, yeah.
I have to be more professional and not blow up on people and not get mad at them for what they do. So when they get pissed at me, I'm calm. And other people, like my friends, see me work like, man, you're fucking different when you're working
It's work.
versus
Yeah.
when we're hanging out. Like, well, I have to be.
You know, you were there at Other Voices, the last Other Voices that
Yeah.
that was thrown. I was DJing that night, and I had a coworker actually come in, and I didn't know they were there, and they showed up with a crowd or whatever. My coworker did, and I had no idea they were there, and so I went back to work, and they were like, "Hey, so we went to Space Bar the other night, and you were DJing," and I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's me," and they were like, I had no idea you were like into that. Like, what is that about? That's crazy. It's like really like dark and like aggressive. And I was like, no, it's awesome. It turns out they had a great time. They want to go back, but I mean, it's like we were just talking about. It's like that alter ego. Like, hey, you know, this is what I know of you. And then they caught me slipping outside of work, and they're like, "Holy shit, that's Charlie!" Like, whoa, you know, like what's really
for
going
me,
on?
Like my the types of jobs I've had, it always blows people's minds because I used to work fucking inventory first, then I got into security, then I was a bouncer at a bar. The bouncer at the bar thing always trips people out. Like, you're a bouncer at the bar? I'm like, yeah, because when people look at me, like, if they don't talk to me at first and they kind of like look at me at distance, like, oh, this guy's probably like a fucking shut-in. Likes to stay home, never likes to leave his house, blah blah. And then when I start talking to them and I explain like more about me, their mind just like, poof, like, okay, I'm gonna leave now.
Yeah.
And it's true, yeah. That's completely true. Again, it's like I always go back to that. It's like once I get out of here, I'm not gonna text anybody. I do actually keep contact with certain people.
Yeah.
And depending if they're they connect with me, like this hotel that's in Imperial Beach, right?
Yeah. Which one?
Pier South.
The one, the one on the actual
On Seacoast.
yeah.
Seacoast, yeah.
So I used to work there, and I actually go visit over there like once in a while because these people. So the way I put it is that these people are more free-willed and they're willing to express themselves, right? But when it comes to work happens. But when we were communicating and so forth, we would talk freely. Like we would say shit. We would be what is it? Short of reality to them. Just give them some reality,
Sure.
and they'll understand. And it was nice. It was good because I still do that. I think last week I went to visit them and it's like they're all happy and shit. It's still the same people. The place I work at, it's too, what do you call it? Very hamster like. Everybody's like all coordinated. Like you say fuck.
Very guideline. Very within these terms and regulations. Yeah.
And then you say fuck to them and then you replaced it with like. Like, oh Jesus, jeez, crap,
yeah.
They don't say,
shit becomes crap and fuck becomes fudge,
exactly,
more PC,
And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? I literally go around, it's like, whoa, like I even tell them straight up, it's like, I'm really south side, so this north part of I can't.
That's the other thing, part. Like when the south goes to the north, people trip out because we we fucking curse a lot.
Yeah, and the way we talk, what's up, fool?
I know.
Yeah,
Like, hey,
yeah.
fool. Like, what's
Like,
up?
we all talk like we're fucking gangsters. and shit.
But I mean, that's
To
just
them,
how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we come from, man.
Like,
I don't want to talk to that guy. He's a fucking gangster.
I always put it the way I put it is like the border between South and North would be, fucking. If you're passing Logan Park or what is it, Chicano Park, that's already like you're already in North.
Yeah.
Anything under it, you're already on the South. And because the language barrier again, it's kind of weird because they're like really whitewashed, like super whitewashed. I'm like, what the fuck is this? You know, I'm literally going, okay,
it's
well,
like a culture shock. Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm talking to them, and I'm trying to choose words, and sometimes when I'm choosing words, I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying right now. I literally can't like agree to them. So what I started doing is just being myself again. You know, I'm like, fuck this. I'm like, they know I'm already here for a month. I'm like, you might as well know who the fuck I am now. Yeah. So I started, screaming out random words or random shit because that's literally what I do.
I mean, half the time we don't even call each other by our names. We say, "Oh, this fucking bitch right here."
Yeah, fucking dickhead or
this
exactly.
motherfucker, this asshole.
Yeah, this asshole. Yeah.
Exactly. And then they're like, "Why are you so angry?" I was like, "I'm not angry. This is just the way we are." Like, you call someone, again, fucker, dick face.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not angry. I'm just calling this person as it is. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Even the whole nickname thing, people can't get over. Like his nickname is Pony, and mine is Ziggy, and they're like, "You're like something out of The Outsiders."
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, which is a great movie, by the way.
It is, and I have it right here. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And because I remember like someone was reading my tattoo because I actually have it tattooed on me and stuff, and I was like talking to the managers like this, leaning against the door, and then there was one manager and the other one was over here next to me, sitting down, and then I'm talking to the manager, and I look at him, and I notice him reading it, and I'm pretty sure in his head, what the fuck does that say, or what the fuck is
it like
that?
Stay Golden, or what do you got in there?
Actually, it says my nickname.
Oh, okay,
it's Pony,
Pony,
but then it has the sun in the back, and Stay Golden.
Uh-huh.
So, but he's looking at it, and I'm like, I'm just gonna let him be curious. I'm just think about whatever you fucking want right now.
Yeah.
Hey, later on, when you do ask me, I will tell you.
You probably thought you were into like some hardcore horseplay bondage
Maybe,
or
right?
like that.
Some brony shit.
Some hardcore fetish scene or something like that. Yeah, Pony God or something like Leather God out of work or whatever.
Some brony shit.
Yeah.
Fuck that. But yeah, no, it's true. I would say that anybody out here, like everybody has their nicknames. Like all the group that we used to hang out had nicknames. I mean, literally, like I think that was more of a protection thing. Like if everybody knew your real name and the cop asked you who was this culprit, you're gonna say,
oh yeah, even at that time because I was kind of new to the whole nickname thing, because I was wondering like, okay, this guy's nickname's this, but what's his name? But at the same time, I understood it because it would protect us. So say if we both get arrested at the same time, we don't know each other's real names.
Exactly.
Like we don't know our last name or our first name. Mm-hmm. For the longest time, I didn't know his real name or his last name.
Until when I was an adult. That's exactly when everybody knew my name.
Yeah.
Because obviously, as you grow up, you have to actually go through your formal name.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Omar. I would tell everybody, and everybody knew me as Omar. It's like, and it was weird after a while hearing my first name, but eventually you come to terms like that is my real name.
Oh yeah, for me, I'm not even comfortable with my real name when I go out, like to see friends and shit. It's very unusual. The only time I really hear my name is when I'm at home with my family. They call me that, whatever. Sure. But when I go outside, it's like, hey, Michael. It's like,
Ziggy, man.
Yeah, stop right there. That's it. Don't even.
Nah,
I'm not at home.
It's like at work, at every job I've really had, I've always been Charles.
Mm-hmm.
Charles. But
exactly.
people that know me, it's like Charlie. Charlie.
Yeah, like when I worked at Bar Pink, I went by my actual nickname, Ziggy. Everybody knew me as Ziggy. And even my bosses, they were like, because I went there one day to pick up my last check, and I don't see your fucking name here. I said, oh, it's actually Michael. Like, holy shit, I didn't know that. I was like, yeah. So I grabbed it and left.
And it's funny because when you hear your real name, you get like butthole tight. You're like, oh, what's going on? Am I in trouble?
Yeah.
Chill out.
Yep.
Say all right.
Like you feel like you are in trouble because one of the bartenders I worked at when I was still a bouncer, she would say my full name, Michael David, and I would get scared when she said it because, oh shit, what did I do? Did I do something wrong?
Yeah. That comes from our moms, dude.
Right, exactly.
When you hear the full name, you're like, oh shit, what did I do now?
I'm in trouble.
Or the girlfriends too. We need to talk while names. So far, it's like, oh, I don't want to hear that word.
Yeah, it's almost like you kind of like, nope. that's not my name. You know.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's true. It's I'm used to being Pony. I like it. I enjoy it. I mean,
since I've
Pony's
known
good.
you,
Pony's
you've
good. I
always
like
been
it.
right,
Pony's
exactly.
good. It's good. Yeah.
and
I
it's,
even asked you one time, like a long time ago, when you barely first met. I was like, "Hey man, where'd you get the name Pony?" And you're like, "Oh,
it just happened.
yeah, it just kind of happened."
And it's funny because after years, when people are like, "Why is your name Pony?" This
Mm-hmm.
and that, and then I'll go into the story and like, you know what? Before I read the book or watched the movie, I already had this name. But you just think about like the movie and the book.
Yeah.
That's exactly the life I lived.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like in violence and
yeah.
well, instead of like running away, it was more drugs.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
forth and so on. But that's usually how it works. And now I just tell them that's my nickname. I had it since middle school. And
Yeah, I just tell people I had mine since high school, and they said, "Well, can you tell me how you got it?" I'm like, "It's a long story, and I don't want to talk about it."
Right.
You know, we'll leave it at that. But yeah, so I guess this is probably the end.
Yeah. Cut it short.
Yeah, because it's
We're
getting
not sure.
pretty.
Yeah, it's getting. Yeah, we can probably keep going.
We can probably keep going, but at the same
Yeah.
time, it's getting kind of warm in this fucking room.
Yeah,
I don't want
I'm
to
ready
turn
for
on-
a cigarette.
I know,
Me
right?
too.
I need. Yeah.
So once again, this is Ziggy.
This is Pony.
This is Charlie Disorder.
Yeah, and you could find him on Mixcloud. I'll leave his information on the description,
Yep.
and you could view all his stuff. I've listened to his stuff, and I think it's
great.
really fucking good.
It's
Appreciate
good.
that.
Yeah.
Appreciate that very much.
Love it.
So yeah, thanks for listening.
Peace, guys.
Later.